Hi class, Dr. Rosie here. I am going to provide you with a map to our classroom. I call this presentation Navigating Our Canvas Classroom. So, when you click on Courses and you enter our classroom, this is the screen that you see. It's the home screen, and I've set up all our modules on this screen. But wait, what's a module? Well, module is the group of assignments that you are required to complete each week. So the week's assignments. So this is what the page looks like. This is the student view, so you will see this page, obviously without all the yellow marks and the green. I like to color. So you start off at home, and whether you click on home or modules, you're always going to end up in the same place. So I always like to go home, and this is what you see. There's one other thing I want to point out on this page, and that is the to-do list. And that gives you everything that is required in order that it is due. So that's something, an extra feature that you might want to look at. Okay, so on this home page, there's obviously several links. But the most important link is home. When you go home, you will get the modules, you will get all your assignments. There's really no need for you to click on quizzes. There's no need to click on assignments. There's no need to click on discussions. You can get everything from this screen. I've made it very, very easy for you to navigate this classroom. Okay, so let's, that was a little bit of a going back and forth. So let's look at what's available in this particular module. I put this first, getting started, because I want to give you a lot of information that will help you, that you can keep up here in this section, and you need to go back to it. If you need to go back to it, you can. So starting off with, it's a message from me welcoming you to class. Under that, there is a presentation about me in 9 slides. It's sort of like my bio that I've narrated. So take a look at that. Navigating Canvas, where do I go? That's what we're doing right now. I will upload it to this link when we're done. I've already completed the presentation and uploaded it here for registering for my ELT, and I'll explain that later. If you want to look at the presentation as well as the PDF printed guide, there's both options here. This is something that administration asked us to put into the classroom. It's the academic dishonesty presentation, so take a look at that. And then finally, I've included here the syllabus and the outline. So let's click on syllabus and see where we go. So this is the syllabus. If we were in an in-person traditional classroom, I would be handing this out to you. Course name, my information, make sure you jot this down. The textbooks. Obviously, I've already sent this to you with the link to the bookstore. The next page, grading. These are the items altogether that we will be doing. The first one is the ETL labs. We're going to have 10 units. Discussions, we'll have 10 discussions. Grade expectations exam. Halfway through the class, the discussions will then be on the Grade Expectations novel that you purchased at the bookstore. And at the end of that, end of the 5 or 6 discussions, we will have an exam. You're going to have one speech presentation. I'll probably do that around week 6. And we have a reading exercise quiz, a TED Talk quiz. I love TED Talks. Building vocabulary quiz. Those quizzes are based on vocabulary that are in both of your textbooks, the Academic Encounters as well as Reading Explorer. I believe that in order to read well, to read with comprehension, to then build critical thinking skills, all these great things that you need to become a great student, well, you need vocabulary. And I'm using this assignment as something that can be sort of like the building blocks of your vocabulary. The next thing on this list is Reading Explorer quiz. So you're going to have 15 of these. You'll be reading sections of your textbook, the Reading Explorer book, and then doing a quiz on those sections. Academic Encounters quiz, this one's a little different. You're going to have 8 quizzes, but I am going to embed in the classroom audio clips that you will listen to and then respond to in the quiz. We're also going to have dictation exercises, and I'll explain exactly what that is later, but I also believe that dictation exercises helps you develop note-taking skills, which is another part of developing good student skills. I'll explain that in a future slide. But then finally, there's the final exam, and we don't have to worry about that right now. That's in the last week, but it will be 250 points. All right, let's look at the next slide. Now, this section here is new to me because I don't put this in Valencia College syllabi. They're in my online, I teach online as well elsewhere, and they are there, but this is new for my Valencia syllabus. What does it mean? Well, participation is oh so important. Okay, you have to submit your initial discussion post by Wednesday. Every week we'll have a discussion. It's your place to engage with your fellow students and to get an understanding of the material that we're talking about. And your first post, your answer to the question, was due on Wednesday. Throughout the week, you have to respond to at least 2 of your peers. And think of it as when you walk into the classroom, you come in, you talk to Sally and Dick and Jane. Well, you can't do that now, but you can be in the discussion area and exchange ideas with your fellow students. So visit the classroom 2 to 3 times a week, participate in the discussions, check your messages, your email messages, as well as the announcements in the classroom. I will be doing Zoom meetings, but you'll have to look for the invitations. So if you don't see the invitation, that means you're not checking your email and you're not checking your announcements. So very, very important. It's also important for you to understand that you have to be engaged in class or you will be dismissed. If you don't stay in class and participate in discussions and submit assignments for 14 days, you will get dismissed. So be very careful with that. I'm also including here a Zoom privacy disclaimer because we're using Zoom for a lot of the things that we do here for our presentations. I have to let you know that I am going to be recording it. And of course, you can't be recorded without you knowing about it. So I'm telling you that I am recording. And if you have a problem with that, then keep your camera off so that your face is not on the screen for your protection. And also, don't use the audio, but instead use the chat box. There'll be a little box in the corner that if you want to converse with me and make any comments, you can just type it in. So your option. There are some people who have issues with this, so we have to put this disclaimer in. All right, so because we're online now, Student Services is providing their services despite the online environment. And they've given us phone numbers as well as emails for enrollment services, academic advising, the virtual call center, counseling service hours, as well as financial aid. So that's the last page of the syllabus if you need it. The next item on the Getting Started list is this schedule of reading and viewing and assignments. So I've had it set up by the week or the module number as well as the date. And then the reading and the viewing, whatever that is required, as well as this column, which is the assignments, what is due. And remember that in the online world, classes start on Monday, they end on Sunday. So you do this work all through the week, but everything has to be due by Sunday at 11:59. So keep that in mind. All right, so that takes care of getting started. Whoop, let's go back home. And we're back here. Now we're in our first module, and that's right underneath the Getting Started. So what is there? Well, the first thing is introductions. So let's click on that. And the next screen that comes up is the actual introduction explanation. What do you have to do? Talk about yourself, your career, your aspirations, your hobbies, your pets, your travels. Post a picture of yourself. And you have to use the image icon in the toolbar, and I will show you where that is on the next screen. Okay, your post is 100 words, and responding to your peers, that's about 50 words. So the peer post is about 4 sentences, give or take, and your post has to be maybe about 8 or 9 sentences. So where do you go? How do you get there? Well, click on reply. As you can tell, I've already started a conversation here, but click on reply. When you click on that, the next screen opens. And a text box, that's what this is called, opens. And you type in here, as I have done, right here, in complete sentences, use a capital letter for the first word of a sentence, and then when you write the letter I is always capitalized. Make sure you use a period at the end of the sentence. And so type right here. Use black ink. Use 12 point. That's the point size right here. And don't write in bold. Don't write in italics. Just write in regular black, regular font. When you are done and you've spell checked and you're positive that everything is done, click post reply. Once you do that, your post will be uploaded. If you just type in here and leave, your post will leave with you. You have to hit post reply for it to actually go to the site. Let's go back to home. Now we're looking at the dictation exercise. So click on that. We go here. And this is the dictation exercise. I have some instructions for you. Get comfortable. Click on here and then write exactly what you hear. Now, this is pretty cool because now you have to type it into Word. So open up a Word document, save it, and typically the best thing to do is save the assignment with the assignment name. So dictation 1. So now we go to the next slide, the next page, and now we can click on Submit Assignment. You click there and you will go to the Browse area. Click on Browse, and if you notice it says no file selected here. Good. Click on Browse, upload your file, and what happens? Your file gets uploaded and the name of your file, it appears right next to the word Browse. Once that occurs, hit Submit, and as long as you've submitted, when you go to check in grades, right here, click on Grades, you'll see that for this assignment, you submitted something. That's how you know that it is submitted and it's ready for grading. All right, let's go back to home, and now we have our reading exercise. Because I'm aware of the fact that you may not get books until the end of the week, I'm okay. I'm putting in a reading assignment. I've embedded it right in here. Yes, it's about the coronavirus. And I want you to take notes, and then when you're done, let's go back home. Take the quiz. Click on this link, and it'll take you to take the quiz. And all you have to do is just pick the correct response. And at the end of that, week 1 is done. So let's take a gander at week 2 for just a second. You have a discussion, you have my ELT, and then you have some assignments, which we will talk about at the end of next week. I do want to just make a few comments about my ELT. You have to register. The content access code is on the back of your textbook. Here is the course key. I will send you this information in email. And also I'd like you to view the presentation in the Getting Started module with screenshots about my ELT, and that'll be the best thing for you. I also have the instruction manual in PDF if you need it. So, relax, ask questions, attend the Zoom meetings, keep working, don't be this guy. That's all, folks.